My wife and I have been discussing a lot lately about the ways in which our personality types cause our marriage, our relationship to be strong, and those areas in which it has caused conflict between us, but also those areas in which it has caused problems for us as a unit, as a couple, when it involves interacting with the rest of the world or trying to make our way in the world. And so I want to take a moment and just share some of these things. As an ISFP married to an INFP, a lot of times the problems that we have within our relationship, the problems that I have with her or that she has with me, are born out of the fact that she favors intuition over sensing and I am the opposite, and also that she is more exploratory in the abstract realm, or the intuitive realm of ideas and possibilities, and that I am more exploratory in the physical realm. And she takes the physical realm a little bit more personal, or it's more a part of her identity, being an introverted, sensing person that she is. Whereas I take ideas much more personally. So, where we have had conflict through the years are in areas where those things do not line up. So, just some examples. She is one that likes to always have her mind open to new ideas. I am a person with my introverted intuition who tends to settle on an idea and then not really want to revisit it all that much, or have outside ideas come in that could challenge it or conflict with it, or cause me to have to rethink the idea that I've already narrowed down on. For her, having extroverted intuition, she's always wanting to explore new ideas and new possibilities. She also looks at the future as a world of really endless possibilities, whereas for me, I don't think about the future much at all, but I'm also much more narrowed down in that consideration of the future. As it pertains to the physical sensory realm, with me being more exploratory, I'm less committed or concerned with, I should say, settling in on any one physical reality. So I'm okay with moving around in the physical, basically the same problems that we have in the intuitive realm, where she wants to explore ideas and I want to narrow down on an idea. We have in the physical realm where I want to explore the physical world, and she more wants to settle into one aspect of the physical world. However, I don't want to take that too far, because her ideas lead her to places where the changing of the physical realm might be necessary. So she can envision the idea of living in lots of different places, or envision the idea of going to many different spots on trips or something like that, or changing things in the physical because it brings about an idea that she has explored. So it's a contrast there that has caused us difficulties, and I have explored some of those difficulties more in depth in previous videos, so you can go back and find those if you are interested. But what it really boils down to is this idea that I favor the physical realm over the abstract intuitive realm, and she is the opposite. And so this causes a lot of difficulties in the idea that she is exploring ideas, and I am much more concerned with the physical realm. That matters more to me. I'm not regularly trying to see beyond the physical to understand the philosophical that's behind it, although I do actually do a lot of that, but comparatively to her, I don't. Now, where we really find ourselves having a problem in life is not so much that I have a problem with her or she has a problem with me, because even though we differ in this focus on intuition versus sensing, keep in mind that both the ISFP and the INFP have the intuition and the sensing as being relatively balanced, because they're the two middle functions. And so even though we differ in this area, we don't tend to go off the rails in this area. And so while sometimes I have trouble understanding her, and sometimes she has trouble understanding me. In the end, we're both relatively balanced in that intuitive sensing realm, and so we can figure out one another with a little bit of effort and some good communication. We can really kind of get our brain around how the other one is functioning so that we can move together in a cohesive way. But where we run into our biggest problems is when we move together in a cohesive way out into the world. When we try to make our way in this world, as an ISFP and an INFP, we run into lots of difficulties. And why is that? The reason is because we both favor our introverted feelings so highly that we are more concerned on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a moment by moment basis. We are much more concerned with, how do I feel? What is my emotional state? Do I like this situation? Am I happy? This is a driving force in our minds, both of us. Now, there are certainly things that cause her to have a different emotional state than me, things that cause me to be happy that are different than things that cause her to be happy. But at the end of the day, both of us are really focused on trying to identify, what is it that we like? What is it that makes us us? What is it that brings us good chemicals, good emotions, good feelings? And we're trying to really revel in that. We're trying to wallow in that. We're trying to build a life where we can bask in the things that bring us those sort of good chemicals and good emotions. The problem with that is that a lot of times those things are not all that productive. And so where we as an INFP, ISFP team get into trouble is that we're not always great at producing. Our extroverted thinking as a fourth function causes us to not put enough time and effort into actually accomplishing things because we're much more concerned with, how do I feel? And so while the concept of accomplishing something and knowing that it would produce a certain result that would make us feel good is nice, but it's oftentimes not enough to drive us to actually go accomplish the thing. And so one of the problems that an ISFP, INFP relationship is going to have is that those two people, if they're not really trying to grow and practice personal growth and move forward, if they're not identifying this extroverted thinking weakness that they have and this introverted feeling addiction that they have, if they're not doing those things, then what they will tend to do is settle into situations that make them feel good for the moment, but don't actually move anything forward toward future goals, future accomplishments, or setting things up in their lives so that they can continue to have a good emotional state 5 years down the road or 10 years down the road. We, as a unit, fail oftentimes to really accomplish the things that are necessary to prepare a positive emotional state for tomorrow or for next month or year or whatever it may be. Extroverted thinking as a fourth function is just exhausted very easily. It just is very difficult to get it up and going. You know, extroverted thinking is sort of a doing function. It's a let's go out there and get things done kind of function. But when it's in the fourth spot, it's like, yeah, I don't mind to get things done, just as long as, for the ISFP and INFP, it makes my introverted feeling happy and feel good in the moment. So if you are in an ISFP, INFP relationship, or you're thinking about being in one, be aware that this is an area where you are likely, as a couple, as a team, you are likely to leave a void. The void will be we actually get things done that help us move forward in life and prepare us for a better future. That's the void that you leave. You don't do those things. We don't do those things a lot of times. Now, we've identified that. We're moving forward in that. We're better in that than we once were. But still, it's a chore. It's a chore for us to move out of our introverted feeling, I just want to sit here or go there or do that thing that makes me feel good in the moment and gives me positive emotions in the moment, moves my chemicals in the right direction in the moment. It's a chore for us to say, no, I'm going to put that down. I'm going to set aside that introverted feeling want to, and I'm going to go do that extroverted thinking need to. And most of the problems that my wife and I have in our, not in our marriage, like problems with one another, but problems as a unit trying to make our way in this world, is that extroverted thinking just is really baby-like and tantrumy. It doesn't do as much as it should, really what it was designed to do, honestly, because it's in that fourth function. And that introverted feeling is very happy to just let that extroverted thinking be dormant, or, go play in the corner, so to speak, so that the introverted feeling, can just sit there peaceably, quietly, happily enjoying the moment, experiencing the positive chemicals and emotions, and not really getting much done. Thank you so much for watching. Do please click like if you found this video to be informational, entertaining, or useful. Please subscribe if you have not already. If you are watching my channel regularly and benefiting from it, would you please consider donating financially to this channel, which you can do that through a link that is in the description below. I really appreciate all of you who have donated. I appreciate all of you who have subscribed. I appreciate you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye now.